Continue with the subtopic of semantics. In this case, I'm going to be talking about compositional semantic. But first, we need to know what compositional semantic is. And it has to do with the account of speaker knowledge, which is divided into truth, entailment, and ambiguity. And truth is when we know the meaning of the sentence. Entailment referred when we say a sentence and connect with another one. And ambiguity is when a sentence has more than one meaning. Also, it's important to say that semantics have two rules. And now we are going to see the first one, that it says, if the meaning of a noun phrase, an individual, is a member of the meaning of the verbal phrase, a set of individuals, then the sentence is true, otherwise it's false. Then we have the example, John sings, and then have the division, the word and meaning. And John referred to the individual, John. And then we have sing that refer to the set of the individuals that sing. Also, talking about truth, we have the truth conditions of this rule that state that the sentence is true if and only if. And what does this mean? I'm going to give an example. Michael can paint, but we can say this only if Michael can paint. So in this kind of sentence, we have to be sure about the information of the noun phrase, and then we can say that this sentence is true or not. Then we have the second rule, and it says, is the set of individuals X such that X is the first member of any pair in the meaning of B, whose second member is the meaning of noun phrase. And in this case, we can say that in the rule number 2 also state that the meaning of the verb determines which pairs can be taken to from a sentence. Then we have an example that says Jack hit Luis. The meaning of the sentence Jack hit Luis is the first derived by applying this second rule, which established that the meaning of the verb phrase establishes the set of people who hit Luis. Now we have when compositionality goes over. And this one, it means like sometimes and the speaker, even native speaker, don't know the meaning of all the words, and that is completely normal. And even if the individual of words have the meaning but cannot be combined together as required by the syntactic structure and related with semantic rules, we will also know that that cannot get to a meaning. We refer to those situations as semantic anomaly. It might require a lot of creativity and imaginations to derive a meaning. This is what happens in metaphors. Finally, some expressions called idioms have a fixed meaning, that is a meaning that is not compositional. Applying compositional rules to idioms give a rise to funny or inappropriate meanings. Well, what this means is that sometimes, as I said before, the meanings are not that clear, and it can be difficult, and you have to know exactly those meanings. And when this happens, is when we have the anomaly, metaphors, and idioms, because In these cases, the meaning is not that clear, and it's divided in the ones that I mentioned into anomaly, metaphors, and idioms. We are going to see them each one by each one. First one, anomaly. The semantic properties of words determine what other words they can be combined with. If the individual words have the meaning but cannot be combined together as required by the syntactic structure and related with semantic rules, we also not get to a meaning. And then we have an example, colorless green ideas slip furiously. In this sentence, it obeys all the syntactic rules of English. However, colorless green ideas and the predicate is slipperously, it has the same syntactic structure, which is mean that in syntactic rules it's correct, but in syntactic structure it has like a nonsense. Then we have metaphor. Metaphor might have a literary meaning as well as their metaphorical meaning. So in some sense, they are ambiguous because they can have different meanings. However, when the semantic rules are applied to words have earns, for example, the literary meaning is so unlikely that the listener use their imagination for another interpretation. To interpret a metaphor, we need to understand the individual words, the literal meaning of the whole expression, and facts about the world to understand the metaphor. As I said before, in this kind of phrases, or we need to know exactly the meaning. Otherwise, we can get another meaning or get a wrong idea. Then we have the example, time is money. And in fact, time, which is an abstract concept, is the subject of a multiple metaphor. We save time, waste time, manage time, push things back in time, and ravage of time. In effect, the metaphor take the abstract concept of time and treat it as a concrete object of value. It's necessary to know that in our society we are often paid according to the numbers of hours or days we work. Now we have idioms. Idioms, also known as idiomatic phrases, are similar in structure to ordinary phrases and except that they tend to be frozen in form, must be entered into the lexicon or mental dictionary as single items with their meaning specified. As I say, in idioms, you have to know exactly the meaning because otherwise, if you translate it, it won't have the same like the meaning that this exactly words has. And are phrases that with the meaning cannot be predicted. As I say, the meaning can you cannot at first time say this phrase means this. And like a metaphors, idioms can break the rules on combining semantic properties. The object of it must usually be sometimes with a semantic feather. Some idioms, whose parts can be moved without affecting the idiomatic sense. As for example, the FBE kept tabs of radicals. Tabs were kept on radicals by the FBE. Radicals were kept tabs on by the FBE. As you can see, the meaning is the same and doesn't change. Then we have the example, giving the cold shoulder, which means change your mind. Sorry, ignore someone. Have a change of heart is the one that means change your mind. And all here, it means when you get your all attention on someone. As I said, for example, I'm all ears, you can translate that because it has their own meaning. Now we have lexical semantic, words meaning. Each of us know the meaning of thousands of words. This knowledge led us to use words to express our thoughts, to understand the thoughts to others. The meaning of words is part of linguistic knowledge, your mental storehouse of information about words and morphemes is what we have been calling the lexicon. As it says, everyone has a lot of words and vocabulary in order to transmit thoughts and understand someone else's thoughts. If the meaning of the word is not like a dictionary entry, what it is, this question had been debated by philosophers and linguists for centuries. One proposal is that the meaning of words or expression it is reference, it is association with the object it referred to. This real word object is called the referent. Now we have referent. And it determined that the meaning of a proper names like Maria is the reference that linked between the word Jack and the word name Maria, which is the reference. Some noun phrase don't refer to any particular individual, such as no baby swims, and no baby swings contain a noun phrase, no baby, but your linguistic knowledge can tell you that this noun phrase is not referring to any specific individual. As it says, reference is referred to a specific, mostly in a noun phrase. Then we have sense. Sense is defined as its relations to other expressions in the language system. Thus, there are words that have sense but no reference in the real world. Sense is defined as relations to other expression to the system. As for example, when you know a word like unicorn, habit, and Harry Potter, these words have no reference. However, with regard to the objects in the real world, they have sense because we can relate them with, like for example, a movie or like a books. So those words might be not like in a real world, but we have seen them and we can relate it, as I said, with a movie or something like that, so we can have a mental image about them. Also, proper names tend to have a reference but not sense. So, thank you so much.